Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Today I've got a 4-for-1 card for you. So this is a fun little trick that I like to do. We did this with Hello Kiwi and some fun black, white, and pink pop of color. I'll link below to our 4-for-1 Hello Kiwi cards. This technique is a fun way to get a set of cards done really fast. All right, let me show you our cards here. We're using the Trucking Along bundle. This is a Stampin' Up! Online exclusive. So you'll go to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net and click shop. And then once you're in the shop, you're going to click menu in the left. You're going to click products and then online exclusives, and you can see this awesome bundle. The Truck Builder Punch is on stop sale. It's estimated to be back mid-October, so keep an eye out for that one. Stampin' Up! Is getting more supply. This is our 4-for-1 card. So you're going to get a set of 4 cards from this fun little technique. Each one is going to be its own unique, slightly different variation. You're going to start with 4 pieces of your choice of designer series paper. I'm using the Horse and Sleigh designer series paper. These are 3 3/4 by 5. All right, let me show you how we cut these papers to start our 4-for-1 set. And I've got a ruler and a friction pen here. I love these friction pens. They erase with heat. I use them in my calendars to keep track of my dates. And what you want to do is choose the ones that are the lightest of your 4 papers, because you're going to mark with the friction pen on the left side of the paper at 1 and 4. So just line that up with my ruler. I'm going to mark 1 and then 4. Now on the right side of the paper, I'm going to mark 2 and 3. And now slide that aside and do the same thing for your other lightest of your designs. So 2 and 3 on the right side, and then we'll do 1 and 4 on the left side. All right, so we've marked our 2 lightest shades. We have our stack of 2. Now we're going to cut these with our paper trimmer. So you're going to do these 2 at a time. And what you want to do is line up the 1 inch and the 2 inches on the track. Make sure your papers are nice and square because you're doing 2 layers at a time. There's 1. Now you're going to line up the 4-inch mark and the 3-inch mark. And there's your papers. I'm going to do the same thing for the second stack. All right, you chose your lightest 2 patterns because it was easiest to see those marks that you made. So the next step here is to grab your friction pen and just make sure that you clean away any little colorful marks that you have left behind. All right, our papers are all ready. Now, for this set, you're going to need card bases. These are 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I used crumb cake. And then you'll need a matte. Early Espresso is the color that I used, and these are 4 by 5 1/4. And I've gone ahead already and adhered the mats to the card bases. Now we're gonna rearrange the papers. in kind of a quilty pattern. You're going to have 3 of the 4 colors on each card. So what I like to do is just take that bottom one on each. Now that middle one, and just rotate. See, so instead of starting in the bottom right, I'm in the bottom left. Now the upper right, and then upper left, and then lower right. Now we're going to start in the upper right, or we'll do here the upper left, then we'll do the upper right, and we're just putting in one of the patterns that we haven't used before for the last piece. And there is our arrangement. Let's go ahead and glue them down. I'm going to use some liquid glue. Get these all glued down. When I glue these down, I like to work one at a time. Put glue on all 3 pieces. I like liquid glue. Gives you an opportunity to slide your pieces. We're going to start with an equal right, left, and bottom border. We're just going to lay it down gently. Then we'll build on with the next piece, keeping the right and left border equal and everything going as straight as you can. This is nice because you've got time to slide. Then the top one, we're looking for the top border to end up being about the same, and the right and left. Now the nice part is about this with the liquid glue is you can slide a little bit. You can tuck a piece underneath its neighboring layer if you need to get a nice even border, but you've got some time to move. So that's the method I like to use for this technique. And there's our first card front. All right, let's slide that one aside and glue the rest of these. All right, there's our last background. Let's go ahead and move on to our stamping now. We're going to use our Trucking Along bundle, and we're going to start with some crushed curry. Now, Trucking Along is photopolymer, so let's get a Stampin' Pierce mat. You'll always get your best images from photopolymer with a Stampin' Pierce mat. I've got some Early Espresso ink here, and we're going to stamp Every Day is a Fresh Start in Early Espresso on crushed curry. Now you want to do one for each card, of course, but by the magic of television, I have the other 3 of everything done. So I'm just going to demonstrate one. Now the next thing is some basic white cardstock, and we're going to do our truck. I love this little truck. It's a 2-step stamping. So we've got the outline here, and we're going to stamp that one in Early Espresso right at the bottom edge of our page. Then we're going to stamp our flowers. Now I'm going to stamp them separately over here because we're going to use the easy button and punch out our truck. Got Early Espresso, so let's go ahead and ink up the tires and hubcaps. And we're going to do the fill in. Got our 2-step stamping here, so line it up and fill it in. Then the same thing for the body of our truck. I'm going to use some cherry cobbler for that. Line it up and fill it in. Between the 2-step stamping, easy coloring, and the 4-for-1 card, these are a great way to make a lot of cards quickly. All right, now we've got our flowers here, and they also have a fill stamp. So we're going to get some crushed curry. We've got our little flowers. Let's go ahead and ink those in. So we'll have some yellow flowers. And then I have a Stampin' Blend Light Old Olive marker. You can use your Stampin' Rights here if you like. My Stampin' Blends are in my cart though. My Stampin' Rights are in the closet. So I generally grab for my Stampin' Blends, and I did Light Old Olive on the leaves and just a touch on the stems. All right, now we've got our clouds. I'm going to do 2 for each card, but by the magic of television, I have almost all of them already done and cut. So we're just going to demonstrate 1, but you'll need 8 for the whole set. Now let me show you some die cutting that we did. I've got also from the Horse and Sleigh Designer Series paper here, 1 tag that we cut ahead using the tailor-made tags, the second largest with the clip corners. We also did one of those for each card in Early Espresso. Now we're going to do a little spatter on the background of our wood grain tag. It's just going to add a little more interest to the back. It looks kind of like mud flinging. So let's do that. I'm using the spatter. It's from my favorite Quiet Meadow stamp set. All right, let's do Early Espresso, and I'm going to cover our surface here. We're going to go off the edge of this tag a little bit, so cover up your Stampin' Pierce mat so you don't transfer ink. Doing Early Espresso, and we're going to stamp once, kind of diagonal from the left to the right, and then once kind of across the bottom, so it'll be underneath our truck. And there's our spatters. We can go ahead and clear away the ink pads now. Let's glue these 2 tags together. So a little bit of glue on the back of the tag, and then matte so that you can see the little Early Espresso tag peeking out from behind. Got my truck here and my little builder punch. We're going to punch out the truck. I just love this. Now, the truck bed can be filled with lots of different things. We're going to fill with flowers. So you could line it up. It's clear photopolymer stamp. So if you're not punching or if you're not doing dimensionals, then you would just line up the flowers inside the truck on your layer. But because we're going to do dimensionals, we're going to have to give that a little fussy cut. But the nice part is you just fussy cut what you want to put in the truck bed. You don't have to fussy cut the whole truck. So when I do this, I'm going to cut just a bit below what I want to put in the truck bed. Then I'm going to cut a little angle. Then I'm going to bubble cut around it. So I got the little flowers here, and I'm going to leave a little white edge. The punched out the truck with a little white edge. So you want also whatever you're filling the truck bed with to have a little white edge to match. And the easiest way to do that is to just do a little bubble cut. You're going to turn the flowers, not the scissors. And then when you get to the end, cut another angle. Now what you have, there's a little trapezoid that's your glue tab. So we're going to add a dot of glue on that little glue tab, and then line that right up in our truck. So cute, right? Now we can put that on dimensionals on our tag. Let's give that a second to dry. And while we do that, we're going to cut out our clouds. Same way, we're going to fussy cut with just that little bit of white border underneath. It's really an easy shape to cut. Flat bottom and then just a little bubble cut. But it really adds that extra little something. There's our clouds. Now our greeting. I'm going to punch out my greeting with the retired 1 3/8 inch circle punch. You can die cut this with 1 3/8 inch die, whatever you have. That's the size of it. And so you can just find a 1 3/8 inch and give it a circle shape. All right, so you got your linen thread and you're going to fold in half. Put the loop through the tag. Swoop over the top of the tag and tie. Then you're going to loop up, swoop over the top, tuck where that finger is holding space, pull. Now you've got a perfect loopy double bow on the top of your tag. Great texture to go with this designer series paper, and just adjust the size of the loops by holding the knot and pulling the tails. And when you got it how you like it, you can just cut it right away from the spool. And the side that you tucked through that was a loop, just cut off the loop. There's your tag. Now we're going to need some dimensionals and some liquid glue. I'm going to add some dimensionals to my truck. What I'm going to do here is it's going to go past the edge of the tag a little bit, so avoid the very rear bumper and the very front bumper just for now. And we're going to add a dimensional to the back of our sun. The clouds are going to get a little bit of liquid glue, and those two can share. One's going to go off the edge. One more to the center. I didn't press them down yet because until I get all my pieces on there, I might want to adjust. A little truck. I think I'm going to pull everybody to the right just a little bit. This guy all the way to the edge over here. Good. Then we can add our sun. Today, or every day is a fresh start. So cute. We got our tag all assembled. Now let's bring our samples back in here. You can see we'll just adhere our tags to the front of the cards. And right of center, a little low of center too, so that it spans those beautiful designer series papers. And here, by the magic of television, I've got 3 more. Let's go ahead and add those. And now with the little effort of designing one adorable little tag and then using the 4-for-1 card trick, we have got 4 adorable cards that we can send for any sort of hello or encouragement. I just love this trick. I love this bundle. The punch should be back in early or middle of next month. If you've got any questions about the project, the 4-for-1 card, if there's anything that we can do to help you stay crafty, email us at staycrafty@kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.